Does he really love you? Not just with words, not just with expensive gifts, but through small, meaningful actions that reveal his true feelings. Many women miss the real signs of love. They wait for big, romantic gestures, but overlook the subtle things that matter most. A man who truly loves you doesn't just talk about love, he shows it through his actions. And once you recognize these signs, you'll never doubt his love again. I'm about to reveal 12 hidden behaviors that only a man who genuinely loves you will do. Some of them may surprise you, and number 12 is the most powerful of all. If he does this, he will never leave you. Why you should watch until the end. Because once you understand these signs, your entire perspective on love will change. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Let's dive in. Chapter 12. Signs. A man truly loves you. Love is not just about words, it's about actions. The things he does without even thinking. The small, consistent gestures that show how deeply he cares. Number 1. He loves to touch you. What does he do? A man who truly loves you will find ways to be physically close to you, even in the smallest moments. It's not just about intimacy, it's about connection. You'll notice it in the way he reaches for your hand while walking, without even thinking. Wraps his arms around you from behind when you least expect it. Brushes your hair away from your face as you talk. Places his hand on your lower back as he guides you through a crowded place. Sits close enough that your knees touch, even when there's plenty of space. These small, natural gestures aren't random. They are instinctive signs that he feels emotionally connected to you. Why is this important? Men express love differently than women. While women often use words, men use actions, and physical touch is one of the strongest. It's his way of saying, I care about you. It's how he feels safe and at home with you. It's a subconscious need to be close, not just physically, but emotionally. The real test? Does he only touch you when people are watching? Or does he reach for you even when you're alone? A man who truly loves you doesn't need an audience. He touches you because he feels drawn to you, not just for show. Real-life example. Imagine this. You're sitting on the couch, reading a book. He walks by, gently squeezes your shoulder, and keeps going. No words, no reason, just an instinct to be close. Or, you're standing in the kitchen, focused on preparing a meal. Without a word, he comes up behind you, wraps his arms around you, and rests his chin on your shoulder. Not because he wants something, just because he enjoys being near you. That's the difference between a man who likes you and a man who truly loves you. Real love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's found in the quiet, simple ways he reaches for you, even when he doesn't have to. 2. He always listens to you. What does he do? When a man truly loves you, your words matter to him. He listens, not just to respond, but to understand. You'll notice it in the way he remembers the little details, your favorite coffee order, your childhood dreams, the way you like your blankets tucked in at night. Notices when something is wrong, even before you say a word. Asks follow-up questions about things you mentioned downs or even weeks ago. Listens without interrupting, without looking at his phone, without trying to fix things right away. He's not just hearing your voice, he's absorbing your thoughts, feelings, and emotions because you matter to him. Why is this important? Many men are wired to be problem solvers. When they hear an issue, their first instinct is to fix it. But a man who truly loves you understands that sometimes you don't need solutions. You just need someone to listen. Listening is an act of love. It shows patience, respect, and deep emotional connection. And the real test? He remembers what you say, even the small things. When a man loves you, your words stay with him. He doesn't just nod and forget. He listens because your voice matters. Real-life example. Imagine this. You once casually mentioned your dream of visiting Italy. Months later, he surprises you with a book about Italian culture. Or he starts learning a few Italian phrases just to impress you. Or maybe you had a rough day at work, and as you vent, he just sits there listening, not rushing you, not offering advice, just being there. Then later, he remembers exactly what upset you and asks if things got better. That's the difference between a man who hears you and a man who truly listens. Love isn't just about saying the right words. It's about showing, in small but powerful ways, that your words matter. Chapter 3. He protects you, both physically and emotionally. What does he do? A man who truly loves you will always make you feel safe, not just from danger, but from emotional harm. You'll notice it in the way he stands up for you when someone speaks negatively about you, steps in to help when you're struggling, without you even asking, pays attention to your emotions, making sure his words and actions never hurt you, puts your safety first, walking on the outer side of the sidewalk, making sure you get home safely, or holding your hand in crowded places. He doesn't protect you because he thinks you're weak. He protects you because he values you. Why is this important? For men, protection is a deep instinct. When a man loves you, he naturally feels responsible for your well-being, comfort, and happiness. But true protection isn't just physical, it's emotional too. A man who truly loves you will never belittle you in public or private, never make jokes at your expense, never intentionally hurt your feelings. Instead, he lifts you up, making sure you always feel loved, respected, and emotionally secure. Real-life example. Imagine this. You're at a gathering, and someone makes an insensitive joke about you. Before you can even react, he steps in, calm but firm, and defends your dignity. Or, you're having a stressful day, and instead of dismissing your feelings, he puts his arms around you and says, "I've got you. You're not alone." That's not just love. That's a man who sees your happiness and safety as his priority. A man who truly loves you doesn't just protect you from the world. He protects your heart, your mind, and your emotions every single day. Chapter 4. He always puts you first. What does he do? When a man truly loves you, you are never an afterthought. You're always a priority in his life. You'll notice it in the way he changes his plans just to spend time with you, makes sure you feel included in his schedule, even when he's busy, checks in on you throughout the day, not out of obligation, but because he genuinely cares. Remembers the things that matter to you, your birthday, an important work meeting, or even the little things that make you smile. It's not about always being available. It's about making time for you, because you matter. Why is this important? People make time for what's important to them, and a man who truly loves you will never be too busy for you. Even when life gets hectic, he will find ways to stay connected, even if it's just a quick call or text. Make sure your needs and happiness aren't neglected. Show you, through actions, not just words, that you are a priority, not an option. A man who only makes time when it's convenient for him, that's not love, that's convenience. Real-life example. Imagine this. He has plans with friends, but you've had a rough day. Without hesitation, he says, "You're more important. I'll be there soon." Or, he's got a busy work schedule, but still makes time to check in on you. A quick call, a thoughtful text, a small but meaningful effort. Because when a man truly loves you, he doesn't just fit you into his life, he builds his life around you. Chapter 5. He thinks you're beautiful, even without makeup. What does he do? A man who truly loves you doesn't just admire your looks when you're dressed up. He finds you beautiful in every moment, especially when you're just being yourself. You'll notice it in the way he looks at you with admiration, even when you're in sweatpants and messy hair, compliments you at unexpected times, not just when you're wearing makeup or a nice outfit, makes you feel attractive even when you don't feel your best, loves your natural beauty, the way you laugh, the sparkle in your eyes, the warmth in your smile. To him, your beauty isn't just about appearances. It's about who you are, your kindness, your energy, your presence. Why is this important? Society often pressures women to look perfect, but a man who truly loves you sees past all that. He loves you for you, not just for the way you look when you're dressed up, but for the real, raw, natural version of you. And the biggest sign? He compliments you when you least expect it, not just when you've put in effort, but in the quiet, everyday moments when you're just being yourself. Real-life example. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning, hair messy, no makeup on, and he pulls you close and says, "You're so beautiful." Or, you're in the middle of running errands, wearing an old t-shirt and jeans, and out of nowhere he says, "I love the way you look right now." That's when you know his love isn't just for how you look, it's for who you are. Chapter 6. He respects your opinions. What does he do? A man who truly loves you will value your thoughts, ideas, and feelings. He doesn't just make decisions on his own. He wants to know what you think. You'll notice it in the way he asks for your opinions before making important choices, listens to your advice and considers it seriously, respects your boundaries and never pressures you to agree with him, never dismisses your thoughts. He values what you have to say, even if he doesn't always agree. He sees you as an equal partner, not just someone to be with, but someone whose voice matters. Why is this important? Love isn't just about emotions, it's about mutual respect. A man who doesn't respect your opinions will make all the decisions without asking you, ignore your concerns or dismiss your thoughts, try to control or manipulate your choices. But a man who truly loves you will include you in important discussions, value your perspective even when it's different from his, see you as his teammate, not just someone in his life. Real-life example. Imagine this. He gets a big job offer in another city. Instead of deciding alone, he sits down and says, "What do you think? This affects both of us." Or, you give him advice about a problem he's facing. Days later, he tells you, "I thought about what you said, and you were right." That's not just love, that's real partnership. Because in a healthy relationship, your voice is just as important as his. Chapter 7. He wants to see you happy. What does he do? A man who truly loves you doesn't just say he wants you to be happy. He shows it through his actions. You'll notice it in the way he does little things to make you smile, even on your worst days, pays attention to what makes you happy, and tries to bring more of it into your life, puts your comfort before his own, not because he has to, but because he genuinely wants to, feels happy just by seeing you happy. Your joy is his joy. Even in tough moments, he prioritizes your well-being, ensuring that you always feel loved and supported. Why is this important? Love isn't selfish. It's about giving without expecting something in return. A man who only cares about his own happiness will ignore your feelings when you're upset, make decisions that only benefit him, expect you to sacrifice for him, but never do the same for you. But a man who truly loves you will go out of his way to make your life easier, find joy in making you happy, compromise when needed, because your happiness matters to him. Real-life example. Imagine this. You mention how much you love a certain song. Days later, he plays it while driving, just to see you smile. Or, you're exhausted after a long day, and without asking, He brings you dinner or runs an errand for you. That's not just kindness. That's love in action. Because a man who truly loves you doesn't just want you to be happy. He actively creates happiness for you. 8. He doesn't leave when things get tough. What does he do? A man who truly loves you stays, even when things aren't easy. He doesn't walk away at the first sign of conflict. He fights for the relationship because you matter to him. You'll notice it in the way he faces problems head-on instead of avoiding them, works with you to find solutions instead of blaming or shutting down, stays patient and calm during arguments, choosing to listen rather than react, talks about the future with you, even when you're going through a rough patch, remembers your coffee order without asking, knows your favorite song and plays it when you need cheering up, notices when your mood changes and asks what's wrong before you say anything, brings up past conversations, proving he listens and values what you say, knows your fears and dislikes, and avoids them without being told. He knows that real love isn't always perfect, but it's always worth fighting for. Why is this important? Every relationship faces challenges. What matters isn't avoiding conflict, it's how you handle it together. A man who isn't serious about you will walk away when things get hard, ignore the problem, and hope it goes away. Use arguments as an excuse to distance himself. Forget important things you've told him. Only pay attention when it benefits him. Never ask follow-up questions about your interests or feelings. But a man who truly loves you will stay and work through issues no matter how tough. Reassure you that he's not going anywhere. Prove through actions, not just words, that he's committed for the long run. Make mental notes of what makes you happy. Surprise you with little things that show he's been paying attention. Show through actions, not just while words, that you're always on his mind. Real-life example. Imagine this. You have a disagreement, and instead of storming off, he says, "Let's sit down and talk about this. I don't want to lose what we have." Or, even when you're upset, he still makes future plans with you, because he sees both of you together, no matter what. That's not just love, that's commitment. Because a man who truly loves you doesn't just stay when things are good. He stays when things are hard, because you're worth it. Chapter 9. He remembers the little things about you. What does he do? A man who truly loves you doesn't just remember the big moments. He pays attention to the small details that make you unique. You'll notice it in the way he remembers your coffee order without asking, knows your favorite song and plays it when you need cheering up, notices when your mood changes and asks what's wrong before you say anything, brings up past conversations, proving he listens and values what you say, knows your fears and dislikes and avoids them without being told. Even when you think he's not paying attention, he is. And these little moments show how much he truly cares. Why is this important? Anyone can remember a birthday, but a man who truly loves you remembers the details because he treasures you. A man who doesn't care will forget important things you've told him. Only pay attention when it benefits him. Never ask follow-up questions about your interests or feelings. But a man who truly loves you will make mental notes of what makes you happy. Surprise you with little things that show he's been paying attention. Show through actions, not just words, that you're always on his mind. Real-life example. Imagine this. You casually mentioned weeks ago that you love a specific dessert. Then one day, he surprises you with it, just because. Or you once told him you hate the cold, and without you asking, he brings you a jacket when the weather changes. That's not just thoughtfulness. That's love in the details. Because a man who truly loves you doesn't just hear you, he remembers you. 10. He changes for you in a positive way. What does he do? Men don't change easily unless they truly care. If a man is willing to improve himself for you, it's a powerful sign of love and commitment. You'll notice it in the way he works on his bad habits. Maybe he stops smoking, drinks less, or manages his temper better. Adjusts his lifestyle. Perhaps he starts eating healthier because you inspire him. Tries to understand your interests, even if he never cared about them before. Communicates better. If he was once emotionally distant, he makes an effort to open up. Breaks bad habits. If he used to stay out late drinking, but now prioritizes spending time with you. Listens to your feedback. If you tell him something bothers you, he makes an effort to adjust. Learns new things for you. He watches your favorite show, reads about your interests, or tries new activities just to connect with you. Takes responsibility for mistakes. Instead of making excuses, he acknowledges when he's wrong and tries to do better. He's not changing who he is, but he's becoming a better version of himself because you matter to him. Why is this important? Real love inspires growth, not forceful control. A man who doesn't care will refuse to change even if it's harming the relationship. Ignore your needs and keep unhealthy habits. Expect you to change, but never put in effort himself. But a man who truly loves you will recognize where he can improve, be willing to compromise without losing himself, change in ways that make the relationship stronger, not weaker. Real-life example. Imagine this. He used to be impatient and quick to argue, but over time, he learns to listen first, react later, because he doesn't want to hurt you. Or, he never cared about fitness before, but when he sees how much you value health, he starts working out, not because you asked, but because you inspire him. That's not just change, that's love in action. Because a man who truly loves you, Yuri, wants to be his best self, for both of you. 11. He looks at you differently. What does he do? When a man truly loves you, his eyes reveal everything, even when he doesn't say a word. His gaze is different from how he looks at anyone else, and you'll notice it in the smallest moments. You'll notice it in the way he looks at you with warmth and admiration, even when you're not paying attention. Holds eye contact longer than he does with anyone else. Softens his gaze when you're talking, as if he's completely lost in you. Studies your face, as if he wants to memorize every detail. Gives you a look of pride, as if he feels lucky to have you. Locks eyes with you across a crowded room, as if no one else exists. Smiles with his eyes, showing warmth, care, and deep connection without saying a word. Softens his expression the moment he looks at you, even if he was serious just seconds before. This isn't just physical attraction. It's a deep emotional connection that can't be faked. Why is this important? A man's eyes often reveal his true feelings, even before he puts them into words. A man who isn't truly in love will look at you the same way he looks at anyone else, rarely hold eye contact or seem distracted when talking to you, only show affection when it benefits him. But a man who truly loves you will have a softness in his eyes that he doesn't show to others, look at you even when you're not looking, because he admires you, express emotions through his gaze that words can't capture. Real-life example. Imagine this. You're in a room full of people, and you suddenly catch him looking at you. It's not just a glance, it's a deep, meaningful look that makes you feel truly seen. Or, you wake up in the morning and catch him gazing at you with a quiet smile, as if he still can't believe you're his. That's not just attraction, that's love in his eyes. Because when a man truly loves you, his eyes will always find you. Chapter 12. He is always there when you need him. What does he do? This is the most important sign. A man who truly loves you will never disappear when times get tough. No excuses, no avoidance. He shows up when you need him most. You'll notice it in the way he picks up the phone no matter how late it is when you're upset, stays by your side when you're sick, stressed, or overwhelmed, supports you emotionally, even when he doesn't have the answers, prioritizes your needs over his comfort, whether it's helping you move, handling a crisis, or just being there when you feel lost. Doesn't walk away during fights, but works things out because you matter to him. He doesn't just say he's there for you. He proves it every single time. Why is this important? When life is good, anyone can be around. But true love is shown when things get hard. A man who isn't fully committed will disappear when things become difficult, avoid serious conversations, make excuses instead of offering support. But a man who truly loves you will stay by your side even when it's inconvenient, be your rock during life's toughest moments, show through consistent actions that you are never alone. Real-life example. Imagine this. You're having the worst day, maybe a job loss, a personal crisis, or overwhelming stress. You don't even have to ask. He's already there. Or you wake up at 3 a.m. feeling sick. Before you can even say a word, he's already getting medicine, making tea, and holding your hand. That's not just reliability. That's real, unconditional love. If you notice this sign, you've found a man who truly loves you. Let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've covered today. Love is not about grand gestures or perfect moments. It's about the small, consistent actions that show someone truly cares. Real love isn't spoken. It's shown through everyday actions. A man who loves you listens, protects, remembers the little things, and never leaves when times get tough. But now, I want to hear from you. How many of these signs have you seen in your relationship? Comment 1 if you have a man who loves you this way. Or comment 0 if you're still waiting for the right one. Because trust me, he's out there. Before you go, do this. Like this video if you found these insights helpful. Subscribe for more deep relationship advice, so you'll never be confused about love again. Share this video to help more women recognize true love when they see it. True love isn't easy to find, but if you have it, treasure it. And if you're still searching, don't settle. Because the right man will always show his love, not just say it.